Hello and welcome to the Nerd in Motion, and today I'm in my shed. It's really raining, so I'm sorry if there's like background noise, but we're going to talk about the news that's come out that we're going to have self-driving cars, so let's play that tune thing.
Honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar.
Okay, so it's really loud in my shed at the moment. We seem to be having some serious rain. So if there is any excess noise, I do apologise. So we're talking about the self-driving vehicles being allowed in the UK, and this is not some like wacky out there conspiracy theory. I haven't been wearing my Freedom hat, which is here, my Mountain Dew Taste of Freedom hat. No, I've not been wearing that. That is not why we're here. This has actually come from the government. And this is a gov.gov. I'll scoot the old page down so you can see it's a real thing. And it's a story that they've put out. And already some other YouTubers have reported on this today. So I've only spotted it this morning. So I thought I'd have a look and we'll have a quick chat about it. And yeah, basically it says self-driving vehicles set to be on the roads by 2026 as automated vehicles Act becomes law. Road safety is at the heart of the legislation. Yes, okay. I'm just gonna this is the first line of what's going on, and this is what always bothers me about our government is road safety is the heart. It's at the heart of our legislation. We only care about you and lining our pockets and our mates' pockets. And, we don't, a lot of us don't even live in the country. So trust us, It's always like that. It's like, I don't know, you're not feeling well and you're a kid. And it's like, you will have your medicine. I know it doesn't taste nice and you won't like it, but it's good for you. That's what they're like. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Obviously, we know that I'm being sceptical here and being, it's just an opinion. Because hey, we've certainly seen how much they care about us of late. With automated vehicles expected to improve road safety by reducing human error. Okay. I mean, admittedly, people do drive like complete tools, yeah, it's yeah, okay. Self-driving vehicles could be on British roads in just 2 years as new law receives a royal assent. Ooh, that means that if it's got royal assent, then it must be good. A move could create over 38,000 new jobs, cementing Britain's position in the forefront of self-driving tech industry. Travel set to be revolutionised by £42 billion sector, increasing road safety and unlocking opportunities for those who currently can't drive. Right, okay, same thing. They're selling us on a really... This is going to be good for those people that can't drive. And yes, I am 125% behind those that maybe can't afford to get their driving license, or maybe those that can't pass it. It's just not built for being able to drive, and they just can't do it. And yeah, for people that are disabled, it could be an absolute game changer for those people, and I'm all up for that, 100%. But it's not quite that, is it? Because we know that when they sell it on just those good points, that there's probably some negatives to it. And one of the negatives that I think is probably one of the biggest things is it's going to take away from freedom, and it's going to be used as a way to keep you within your zone. And if you want to go on holiday or whatever, you've got to go to the prescribed places. And let's say, oh, you know what, we're going to go to Brit, or I'm going to go to Scarborough for on holiday, or let's go to Scarborough for the day. It's sunny and it's bank holiday weekend, and then the government decide that there's too many cars there, and there's too many cars heading for that one location because they've all put it in their sat nav. And you know what? You can't go there today. You'll have to pick an alternative route. Here's some alternative places that you can go and visit. And it'll start being like, and that'll be like, well, we've done this because then it doesn't overrun the towns, and we can control the emissions because we make sure people go to the right places. That's what's going to happen. I'm flipping telling you. It's as sure as little apples are red. That's the goal towards what they want to do. They want to be able to. They do not want us getting in cars and being able to go where we want to go. They don't like it. And these people that drive like absolute tools up on the main road with their pop and bang maps, you're just helping with this, just so you know. And you know, I might sound a hypocrite in that. I like motorsport. I have been known to write the pop and bang map myself, but ultimately that's going towards killing our freedoms. So that's what I think on that one. Anyway, we'll move on. So yeah, it goes on. Go and give it a read. It's on the government website. There's a nice Jaguar I-Pace, that steering rack reliable. No, let's not go down that route. Let's not go down there. Okay, so what we need to know is a bit more around AI and how it works and what it does. So full autonomy on driving isn't there yet, so you have to understand this. So don't be getting all excited in 2026 when you jump in your car and you think, you know what, I'm going to have a nap in the back. It's not there yet. So we're level 2. It's split into 5 levels. Some say it's 6, but on this website it's 5. I say we're around level 2 and 3, which is where I think we're at the moment. Level 2 applies to large share of autonomous vehicles that are on the market today. It talks about what they've got, and then it says system can control acceleration, braking. Still, levels 0, 1 and 2 require the driver to be involved and aware and constantly monitoring the functionality of the support features offered by the system installed. And in level 3 it jumps up a bit. It says the system carries out all aspects of driving functions. However, the driver must be seated in the driver's position and ready to take control when necessary or requested. So if you look at the Tesla's driving system, that's what that is. You sat in the seat and you just have to have your hand on the steering wheel, and yeah, be aware. So yeah, there are some that are completely full driving, which show here. Current regulation allows these kinds of vehicles to be used in only very specific and well-defined circumstances. For example, in city settings where speed limits are extremely low. For this reason, they are generally destined to be used aboard ride-sharing vehicles. So if you look on some other YouTubers' videos in America, you occasionally see them, like, they'll go from like airport or from hotel to airport in one of these cars. I mean, it's interesting because I watched one and you could quite clearly see the two people in the back were absolutely terrified, and it went into a transition on a bit of pavement, and my gosh, they were like boom inside. I just thought, yeah, I would not be up for that. I'd still rather take I'd rather have a human driving it, because yeah. Anyway, so why has this all suddenly become a thing? So if you have a Range Rover and it has been stolen, you know, you were hoping for some help from Thatcham Research, who used to be like the Thatcham. You can have Thatcham approved products that lower your insurance and all that kind of stuff. And Thatcham basically didn't really talk about anything to do with the Range Rover or Land Rover problem. They're basically not interested, from what I can gather, because they have been more involved in the background with the insurance companies and working on behalf of the insurance companies on driverless cars. Our products and sectors, and it tells you all about the fact that they work for the insurer, the repair sector, government and regulatory is all here. For some reason their website is like made for people that can't see things. It's absolutely massive. It doesn't quite fit on my screen, but it's interesting if you go and check out these people and what they're up to, it is quite fascinating. You've got things like this active safety testing. So they're the ones that are testing the things like driverless cars and the systems that they use. And also, let's have a little quick shifties at this. I'm trying to make this video not too long, but there's quite a bit to unpack here. So it talks about basically the research around the safety systems and working with Euro NCAP. Which, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't see massive issue with that. But where is it? There's this insurability by design, which is quite interesting. And it talks about considers how design can address the potential insurable losses that a vehicle may see through its life by taking an attribute-led approach to insurability by design. A vehicle manufacturer can understand its potential risk and build in design solutions significantly increasing the insurability of the vehicle and therefore reducing the cost of ownership of their product. I wonder who didn't do that, Jaguar Land Rover, because when it came to things being nicked, it didn't really seem to work. And then it's got a little breakdown here of, you know, all the things that they want. And I mean, I'd love to go and talk to somebody at Thatcham, because I think it would be quite interesting to see who they really work for. Like, are they in the interest of the people, or are they in the interest of the working for insurance companies and the hedge funds that own them? And yeah, basically, yeah, that's my... Yeah, it's just interesting how a company that once used to stop you guys worrying about getting a few quid off your car insurance is now becoming a sort of big research centre that's into automotive risk intelligence. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I'd love to go and talk to them and see what they're all about, but I get the distinct feeling that we probably won't get an invite. But hey ho, but they've been very quiet about the car theft situation, and they seem to be very hell bent on. Go and have a look at their website. Have a little goosey ganders around there, and you'll see that a lot of it is about driverless cars and basically reducing insurance companies' losses, and that's what it's all about. So it doesn't seem to be more about keeping people safe. But yeah, that's what it's all about. So go and check them out. So I checked out some other YouTubers. So we've got the Brown Car Guy. Go and check him out. We're gonna watch a little bit of his video in a second. So I'll come back to him. But then there's this guy called Ben Jordan, who's done a video called "Sorry Your Car Will Never Drive You Around." And he's a very clever man by what I can gather by watching some of his other videos. He's also like, I'm up for tech doing this. I don't think this is a bad idea, but it's not there. And he shows why, like, well, he made like a small child, and his Tesla ran it over, basically. It stopped, and then thought, I'm going to run it over anyway. So go and watch his video, because it's quite interesting. One of the things, we go back to the Thatcham thing, there was a bit on there to do with sustainability, which is a word that they like to bang around a lot. And it was to do with that cars would be cheaper to repair and wouldn't be so costly to maintain. Because the technology was too advanced. So, which is actually a genuine thing. I think that on Thatcham's part, I think that's a very interesting area to look at. And one of the things that Ben brings up is about that the sensors that Elon Musk likes to put on Tesla, he doesn't tend to have LiDAR. He goes for ultrasonic with cameras to make up a image, and then the car can decide what it's doing. Now, the problem is LiDAR is vastly superior, but it's very, very expensive. So the manufacturer can make an ultrasonic sensor for like a few quid and charge us like 40 quid, where a LiDAR sensor is going to cost maybe 100 quid and they'll charge us 500 quid to replace it. So it's about maybe bringing some of that technology and making it cheaper. Otherwise, you run into situations where you have like the electric car with, has a faulty battery and it's just out of warranty and you've got to fork out 25 grand for a new battery. That's kind of what they're going after. And I don't see a problem with that. But the problem is, if you don't have new technology when it comes to the safety aspect of it, then you're going to have cars that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So let's have a look. Brown Car Guy, absolute legend. He is a man after my own heart who does seem to have an issue with the whole ULEZ thing. And I agree. I think there's a battle that's been raging for years against the motorist. They hate us. They don't want us to own our cars and enjoy cars. They just want us to use it as a way of taxing everybody. They don't want us having classic cars and all that kind of stuff. So he makes some really solid points. And there's something that has not been said by anybody else, and he has brought this up, and it's a question that happened when they first brought out electric cars, and I think he makes a very valid point, so I'm going to put him on.
Like, if a car is in full autonomous mode and it comes around the corner and it sees that there's a bunch of kids suddenly crossing the road there, and it's going to plow, it can't do anything but plow straight into them, or it could drive like a vehicle into a wall and thereby probably likely killing the passengers within the car, what would it do? See, I mean, ultimately, hopefully, the car and the autonomous drive system will be smart enough and we will have enough communications and layout and everything, all of this will be happening, that kind of situation wouldn't necessarily occur. But, freak things happen,
And he is 100% right. I'm wondering if he's a Star Trek fan as well, because he's got a little Trekkie badge there on his jacket. I do like my Star Trek myself. So I've got some high-tech recreation software here. We're going to have a quick look, and I'm going to recreate what Brown Car Guy is kind of on about. Maybe not that scenario, but we're going to do another scenario. So there is a road. There's a road. Obviously, I have to be careful with this software because it's so advanced. So we cannot, go too mad with the graphics here. I've got it on its lowest setting. So we have a car here. And then we've got a big car here, slightly on the bend. This one's got Sadiq Khan in it, and he's very important. So he's probably got a motorcade of cars. They're probably all diesel V8s. And Sadiq's, there's his two bodyguards in the front. There's him. There's another bodyguard in the back. And then these have all, in this motorcade, they're all just, probably just Met police officers that are on the books, making a bit of extra cash. This one's really fat. That guy's fat. He's like me. And there's a skinny lad at the back. And they're all driving along in their motorcade. And then here is a nurse. She's a nurse. She's got a square head. And she's driving along. And basically, they're in fully autonomous cars. And on this side, Grandma launches herself into the road. She has a shopping bag. See, like that. And she's going this way. Yeah? And then on this side, a football bounces into the road. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And there is a young child chasing said ball. And he's going in that direction. So this car here has a decision. Because Sadiq's motorcade, there's different things that could happen. Maybe Sadiq motorcade is going to go across here. And it knows that there's a car behind that he can jump in. And he thinks, you know what, the softest option is I hit this car here. And that's only got one person in. So I'll miss the old lady, miss the kid, and hit the car, which actually probably is the best option in many ways. And we'll all be fine because we're only going slow. We're doing 30 mile an hour, and by the time we hit each other, we'll be doing 10. The other option is this car here says, you know what? I'm just going to run the old lady over because she's like 95. She's had a good innings, and yeah, it's all good. It just mows her down, and she dies. Or this car here, because it's got a very important person in, maybe there's going to be like, and this is my concern. I think this could lead to tiered insurance. So we have tiered insurance in the UK already. If you're American or Australian, you're watching this. You can have fully comprehensive where everything is protected. You can have your no claims bonus protected. You can have all that stuff. You can then have third party fire and theft, which means if you crash into somebody, nothing that you have is covered. But if it's the other person's fault, then you are covered. But if somebody steals your car and sets it on fire, you're still covered because it's third party fire and theft. Then you have third party, which means if somebody steals your car and catches it on fire, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to have your car repaired if you crash into anything. But if you crash into somebody and it's their fault, then their insurance will cover your car. Your insurance will cover their car if it's your fault. So that's what those three tiers are. But the tiers could change, and this is why I think they could change, because NHS lady, she hasn't got a lot of money. She's working lots of hours, working really hard. She's got kids to feed, all that kind of stuff. So she's got the most basic morality of insurance. So what that does is it will protect young people, or it might protect pedestrians, but not necessarily you. And then Sadiq Khan obviously has got the full Monty because he's got more money than sense. And his car has its sole purpose is to protect Sadiq Khan and its driver. So basically what will happen is this car could potentially just, I don't know, maybe it decides I'm not going to crash at all, I'm just going to run this kid over and go. Or I'm going to swerve to the other side, hit the old lady, and drive around this car. Where this car here might be like, right, it's gonna go, I don't know, crash itself into a lamppost that's just here, so it doesn't hit the old lady, but it'll kill the occupant. So that's what I think will happen. This is probably not the best example, but I think what will happen is you'll end up with tiered insurance systems, which will then put because let's not forget that insurance companies don't want to lose a bunch of money, and we actually need insurance companies so that we insure other people's losses against our stupidity. But when you've got AI doing it, it's a different thing then. So then you need to put the insurance company needs to put the onus back on us. So to do that, they'll put like a level of morality of like, well, if you press this, it'll go for the sensible option, or if you press this, then it'll go for if you have the lowest morality option, then you're at your own risk, but everybody around you is okay. Whatever it is, I feel like that's where it could go. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a Just Stop Oil protest with all these self-driving cars around. Brown Car Guy made a very good point, which was he'd asked somebody at some sort of press release for a car that said that there were 30 different types of human the car recognised, and he said, "Oh, what about if you're laying down in the road?" And they went, "I don't know. It'd probably just think you're a speed bump." So yeah. So if there's Just Stop Oil and they lay down in the road, whew, good luck to you guys. You'll get run straight over. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing in the world, but I do think that later on down the line, it goes back to the whole geofencing argument, and it becomes another vehicle of control. Basically, it's another way to keep us from doing the things that we want to do. And, like, I've been a critic of EVs, as you well know, but it's not necessarily EVs that are the issue, it's everything else, and EVs aren't the problem. This kind of AI and intervention into our freedom is the issue that I have. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Also, you know, this channel is all funded by myself. I've brought out some coffee, and this is Nerd in Motion coffee, and the light's really bright, but basically we have a Nos Nectar sweet roast, and this is a decaf in case you like decaf, and you can have it in various grinds or beans or powdery, whatever you need grind. You can have it literally to like super fine, and these are available on my website, thenerdinmotion.com. Yeah, please go and check out our coffee. It's made by a local roastery, and yeah, it's something that I enjoy, which is coffee, and I thought I'd bring you some good coffee as well. So please head over to my website and consider buying some. Right, love you and leave you, and I will catch you on the flip side.